came. Alright, let's put it with the rest here. Hello Internet, this is Olin from What I'm Listening To. For this week's vlog, I did a little bit of online shopping, and I waited probably 2 weeks to get all the packages that I have here. This is what it looks like. Just to make this one video. And as you've probably already figured out, I'm going to unbox these albums right here, right now. I've been really looking forward to doing this, considering that they've just been sitting there looking at me, and I have a general idea of what's there, but as far as order is concerned, I'm not 100% sure. So, let's get started. Oh shit. Let's start with this one. Gotta make sure that my address is not shown on this. Okay, the boxes are falling. Okay, we're good. So the first album I have here is Tom Carter's Shot at Infinity 1. Tom Carter was one of the 2 or 3 members of the band the McBrides. Unfortunately, those guys are no longer together as one, but Tom and Christine Carter have both respectively done their own solo work. And not too long ago, I discovered that there is a newly opened record store in my hometown, so I went and explored it. There were a lot of older records, primarily classic rock, old jazz, and even some R&B stuff. But amongst the records that were there were Tom Carter's Shot at Infinity 2. Needless to say, I picked that one up because I had not heard anything by Tom Carter by himself, and it's an experimental record amongst a bunch of mainstream records, so I thought I'd give it a home. I'll talk about it in another vlog another time, but basically what I'm getting at is I liked what I heard off that record. And when exploring Tom's discography, I saw that there was a Shot at Infinity 1 that was only put out on CD format. The McBrides as a band were fantastic, but Tom's work is basically just the free improv, noisy, droning guitar work minus Christine's vocals. And not that I have anything against Christine's vocals, but I do love Tom's guitar work, and I love the noisy experimentalness of it. Is that even a word? I don't know. But yeah, I have not heard anything off this one. I'm very excited to be able to finally listen to this and see all the booklets and stuff packaged in this. So, very looking forward to checking this one out. All the boxes have fallen on the floor, so let's do this one right here. There we go. Oh, it's a double. What is it? What's it gonna be? Oh yeah. Okay. So this is Hammock's Departure Songs. I completely forgot that this band existed until just recently, actually. Browsing the internet, you come across a lot of different bands, and at some point down the line, I came across Hammock and this particular album. And while I had it digitally, I don't think I ever actually gave it a proper listen. So I kind of forgot about the album, but it wasn't until probably about a few weeks ago, one of the songs off this album started playing at my job, of all places. And I was really digging it, and so when I looked it up and saw that it was Hammock, I was instantly reminded how great these guys were. If you haven't heard of Hammock before, they are an ambient band that incorporate elements of neoclassical, shoegaze, a little bit of noise, but overall their music is just very pretty and epic at times. I'm really excited to own a proper copy of it, and like Tom Carter's album, I'm excited to be able to put this on my iTunes and listen to this in its entirety. Alright, next album I have here, this one says vinyl. I don't think that's true. I don't need no scissors for this one. Oh, it's sealed. New one. I don't remember that. Get out. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. This is Slowdive's third album. Unfortunately, I'm gonna butcher the name of it. Pygmalion. Pygmalion. You'll know it, just the cover will be right here. This is an album I've been wanting to own for quite some time. Specifically, I've been wanting to own this edition of it. This is a reissue that I think only ever came out in the UK. It's got the standard edition of the album, so the original 9 songs, as well as a second disc full of demos and B-sides. The annoying thing is you can't get those extra songs digitally. At least I don't think. I couldn't find them anywhere. So for the longest time, I've been wanting to buy a copy of this just so I could have everything, both the original album and the B-sides. And now I finally do. This album got a little bit of flack because it's definitely a stylistic change compared to their first 2 albums. If you don't know Slowdive, they are legends in the shoegaze world. Their second album is considered one of the best shoegaze albums ever made. So when they followed up with this one, listeners were kind of shocked to hear that they did more of like an ambient space rock approach with some shoegaze, but not blatantly shoegaze. So I think for most listeners, it's hit or miss, but I'm one of the folks who really enjoyed it. This should be a really fantastic listen. I'm not even gonna open the plastic yet. I'm gonna wait until I'm done recording before I do that. Alright, the next one, because it's right here. This is such flimsy material. Alright, Sky Hill. For those of you who are fans of the Game Grumps, you might recognize this album. And if you are a fan of Game Grumps and don't, then what you should know is this is Dan's first band before forming Ninja Sex Party. And to back up even further, if you don't know who the hell Dan is or Game Grumps is, then let me break it down. Dan Avidan is this guy who's in a duo called Ninja Sex Party. He plays this character named Danny Sexbang, who is this macho guy who's focused on sex and fart jokes and the ladies and all things that are macho. But before forming Ninja Sex Party, Dan was in another duo which was called Sky Hill, but Sky Hill was not a comedy band. This is a very 80s sounding record, full of synths and harmonies, and at times it's kind of campy, but for whatever reason, I really dug this one. And after listening to this album for, gosh, at this point, a year now, I really wanted to own a physical copy of it. So because I was planning on doing this vlog, I bought it, and I'm really excited to own this. This is called Run with the Hunted. I'll leave a link to where you can listen to this and get this album. And Dan, if you're watching, this one goes out to you, buddy.
Hands on the water, I find that I could run away before you realize. And where the water divides, I see the darkness that is haloed in your eyes.
Alright, the next one, it's on the floor here. Scissors, I need you. Ugh. What's it gonna be? Oh, wow, it's very wrapped here. The tape is not helping. Gotta be gentle with this one. I don't want to rip case at all. There we go. There we go. Boy, this is really secured, isn't it? There we go, finally. Okay, this is a Brian McBride album, specifically his very first solo album. Brian McBride is better known as being one of the 2 guys behind Stars of the Lid. I've been listening to this album, gosh, way before I moved, and have loved it so much. It's one of those albums that I come back to and fall completely in love with it, and then forget about it and just repeat that process. And because Brian was in Stars of the Lid, the music is very similar to that ambient, classical-oriented music. Overall, it's a beautiful record, and like all the other ones, I'm very, very excited to finally have this. Okay, the last one here. What is it? What's it gonna be? There we go. Alright. Here we have a compilation album called Swim Team Number 2. I love compilation albums, especially when there's stuff that I don't know, because it's an opportunity for me to listen to something, like it, and then explore that band's discography. The main reason I got it is because there is a song on here. It's a remix of a Flying Saucer Attack song called Even Further. I bought the song on iTunes years and years ago and had been listening to it on and off whenever I was listening to Flying Saucer Attack. So when I was looking at the other musicians on this album, I decided I'd give it a listen. So I'm happy to have all these bands to listen to, as well as being able to own a physical copy that has the Flying Saucer Attack song. Hey, guess what? I lied. I thought that was the last one, but I found, that's my address. I found this one. So, there's one more, and I know what it is, and I'm very excited about it. Oh, this one is really difficult. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, on the topic of Flying Saucer Attack, I have an album called Mort Fox Vache, which name I'm probably butchering. Much like the In the Fish Tank series, this label gets a bunch of experimental musicians to come and submit a bunch of music, mostly improvised music, to them and release them on CDs. I know the Yellow Swans have been involved with them at one point. I'll have to put a list of other experimental musicians here. This one has Flying Saucer Attack, White Wing Moth, and another band called Maine. As you can probably imagine, I got this because of Flying Saucer Attack, but I also got it because I know White Wing Moth, and I'd never heard of Maine, but I figured if they're on an album with both those other bands, they've got to be good. I've actually owned the Flying Saucer Attack songs on here digitally, but again, I wanted a proper copy of it because it's been my goal to try to collect as much of Flying Saucer Attack stuff on CD as I possibly can. I probably should have waited until I got this before I did the Favorite Things episode, but whatever, this one should be a fantastic listen. Very, very happy to own this one. Okay, Internet, now I know for sure that that's everything I got. If you have any albums or bands you want me to check out, leave a comment down below, and if I like them, maybe I'll include them in a vlog. But until then, this is Olin from What I'm Listening To, signing out. Goodbye. I don't know why I did it like that. Meow.